And welcome back to Open Mic again. Thank you so much for listening to our stream from the morning. We are back again. This time, we want to broadcast the message that Dr. Anita Gupta, she's advisor for the Government of India and Scientist G, she gave the startups yesterday. We are broadcasting again because the message was very crisp and loud message. Dr. Anita Gupta supports activities on technology startups and strengthening of innovation to market value chain through an array of programs on pan-India level in partnership with leading technical and management institutes, universities, R&D labs, leading industries, government organizations, women entrepreneur networks, and international organizations. We have had a good few minutes of session with Dr. Anita Gupta yesterday. We'd have to broadcast it now to all of you. Please stay tuned and listen to Dr. Anita Gupta on Open Mic.
As I speak today we are in the last month of the year 2020, and as you all know, 2020 has been a truly phenomenal and you can say indelible in many multiple ways to say. What has really, in terms of, in this trying times, the survival of the fittest is the universal mantra. So be it an individual or any business or a industry or to say government or nations or society, it applies to all. And with such a kind of unprecedented health crisis, unforeseen, and at the times of uncertainty looming large, we can say that extraordinary situations trigger extraordinary responses. And having seen and witnessed this through last say couple of months, I'm happy to share that like our startup community, our incubator community really has made us proud and have really rose to the occasion, walked extra mile, and in no span of time really figured out the ways to convert and translate these you can say the challenges which they were not even prepared for into some sort of a golden opportunities. And that was sheer through the sheer power of collaboration, leveraging the right set of like-minded networks, people around, and also not to undermine, it was the power of technology, which we have already seen in the recent times, how it has really invaded. And it is because of this we are able to conduct these kind of virtual sessions, meets throughout. And like be it say government, we quickly adopted to new normals, never had this sort of a technology adoption at such an accelerated and a faster pace. Our education has really transformed, being in the online and virtual mode, because think of it like government schools and teachers were not even trained for this kind of education shift, a paradigm shift in the education, the way it is being right now being imparted, all albeit with some sort of a challenges. We agree, but like there has been silver lining in multiple arenas, sectors, and domains to talk about. And I'm really happy to share the way all of us have collectively responded to this situation, gives such a, you can say, hope that our we will quickly bounce back given any sort of challenges. So let me also share a couple of my thoughts about it. Like we have seen the power of innovation and technology in the recent times, and the way innovation really came into play, came into being, and the way it really leapfrogged from being zero to surplus. Just quoting an example of the COVID times, where in the March end we had no PPs, no indigenous sophisticated ventilators to talk about, or be the kind of leveraging the AI enabled cloud driven mobile based solutions, or even for diagnostics, patient monitoring. We all have. If you talk about startups have really delivered when it was required the most, and our other stakeholder community have really come forward to really bridge the gap, which otherwise would have taken, say, years to really translate and bring them to market, see the light of the day. So as I speak, I think there are hundreds of startups have really quickly, whatever. See, the another factor which really needs to be talked about and appreciated is, which is a part of DNA of any startup, is the agility. The agility and the swiftness through which startups have really tackled this. Many of you must have gone through the anti-fragility report of Delhi, which was actually in collaboration with Zeno. So although this period has been really, it has hit it hard across the board, many startups really had to hold up and close their operations, close to say 15 odd percent. But there has been silver lining, and there has been like great success stories to talk about, that how, and we could see 6 startups being taken to the level of you can say unicorns, which is currently a benchmark of gauging the success of startups worldwide. So things, although being such a trying and challenging and turbulent times, people have really learned to navigate and sail through the turbulent waves, and that really gives us enough confidence that we are prepared and geared up to take the challenges head on and combat a variety of challenges. So while survival has been a key concern for all of us, but there has been glaring examples like where the companies, the selected brands have really thrived. So while survival is the one issue, thriving in this challenging times really is remarkable and needs to be applauded by one and all. So that also brings us to the fact that whatever, while we focus on being relevant to the market, we have to be resilient. We have to ensure that whatever you are planning in terms of business model, in terms of offerings, in terms of the competitor landscape, changing market dynamics, you have to work on ensuring the long-term sustainability of your startup in a way. But at the same time, if you are actually struggling in the wake of the challenges and in the eventuality of facing setbacks, how do you really pivot or bounce back in this kind of situation, and who holds the key? What are the key factors or determinants of navigating this particular time successfully? I think technology also holds the greatest answer to it, and we are all aware that although technology has disrupted the way we work, we function, we live as of now, but what is the greater role of technology to say when we in the government sit and analyze? So it is to simplify, it is to amplify, and it is to magnify the human lives. That is the goal of the technology. And as the technology evolves and progresses, and so does the society also evolves, and which ends up in nation getting the due progress which it is anticipating and aspiring for. While we are actually focusing on the technology, DST has a clear mandate of fostering science, technology, and innovation in the country. Now, you all may be aware, the government has a clear mandate to embark on a knowledge-driven society in the years to come. if we backwardly integrate, we have now national education policy driven by Ministry of Education, which also really focuses on this particular aspect. Within the Ministry of Science and Technology, DST being the lead one, is now really rolling out another technology, which could be a sort of a game changer or path breaking. We are calling it STIP, Science Technology Innovation Policy 2020, with a clear goal and mission of making the India's progress and economic development in a faster, sustainable and equitable and accelerated manner. So that becomes the key driving agenda for us, and various stakeholders are being part of the multiple consultations, stakeholder consultations, which has gone in, and it is soon to be really launched, and it is going to give the right kind of impetus which India desires, because as we know, COVID has now, everyone looks for science to, where is the solution, where is the answer for variety of problems, be it race for vaccine. Thankfully, vaccine, we have 3-4 candidates which have been given green signal for commercial application, UK being the first one. And India is also now will be launching another indigenous vaccine development program steered by our sister department, Department of Biotechnology, with the name of Suraksha. So I think there are multiple things in the pipeline, in the annual, which are actually taking roots now. And as I speak, while DST has been the pioneer, not only for funding the extramural research across the country, the board which I am currently heading, National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Board, happens to pioneer the concept of technology business incubation and focus on nurturing technology-based entrepreneurship way back in since mid of 80s. So while Startup India came into being, lauded by, it's a baby of our Honorable PM, because he has bestowed a lot of confidence and trust in our younger talent pool, and they need to be charged of new disruptions, radically change the way India needs to really march ahead. And while DST was the one who has now set up a network of more than 150 incubators across the country, largely hosted by premier educational institutions, both from the public and the private sector domain. We have collaborated with multiple industries to really tap, scout, and support innovations. And while we were there with the Startup India, we have rolled out a new program, Nidhi, basically to address and foster the weakest link of innovation to market value chain. So we are focusing on the pre-incubation part, like idea to prototype funding, giving fellowship to the potential entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs, because all said and done, while India has shown a lot of, you can say, triggers for being an entrepreneurial nation, but when we talk of the society, our fabric is such like that we are risk averse. And family is not used to be not very supportive of the students opting for entrepreneurial career rather than a regular job or a placement, which is considered to be much more secured and settled. So we have to break that mindset, and now appreciate and churn out new role models and heroes, that these startups take the front seat, driving seat. And happy to share, you go to any IIT, the concept of role model has changed, and that is because of the new age of unicorns, the new age of startups, and it has become now sort of a fashionable if you say you are a startup founder. The case was very different 4 or 5 years back. So that is the kind of groundbreaking which has been collectively done by various government of India departments. Happy to share so many government of India departments, be it information technology, food processing, Department of Defense production, DPIT happens to be the nodal body. Everyone has joined hands along with the you say string of state governments. Three-fourths of the state, or more than 25 state governments have this startup policy in place. So while this looks good on papers, looks good on to talk about, but if you see the other side, this is the kind of you can say welcoming ground which is being created and being facilitated. UP government has recently announced that they will be setting 100 incubators with a clear policy of one district, one product. So these are all ambitious plans. If you really target, we are talking about being vocal for local. We are talking about the new clarion call of being Atmanirbhar India or self-reliant India. So this cannot be achieved solely by the government. We have to, as a responsible citizen, we all share a collective responsibility. And when there's a clear sense of purpose ahead with us, I think there shouldn't be any looking back. We need to really see, prioritize our areas, prioritize our focus, and rechart our collaborative programs, because we need to leverage the power of collaboration to the optimal level to really bridge the you can say market translation journey of any innovator, or be any startup. They have to really navigate and cross the valley of death, we say in our parlance. So how can we really be an enabler, make the journey more, you can say, exciting, hassle-free, and that's the job of government, which we are doing. Happy to share, as you all know, that we have recently hit the top 50 club of as per the Global Innovation Index, and that is thanks to the kind of efforts which have been really resulted into coming to and hitting the uh, 40th spot. That has been a consistent kind of journey. If you analyze from last 4 or 5 years, from 81, and we have been actually clocking and climbing the ladder consistently and progressively. That is thanks to the collective role which has been played by the stakeholders across. So while government becomes the initial facilitator, this chain has to be really as a sort of passing the baton. If one job is done by government, somebody has to really hold it, and then from how the journey from being and you arrive at the destination, from start to destination. So that's how, that is the role of all of us. So while government could be the initial investor or initial one who is de-risking the various risks which are associated it, but after 2 years, we are only a catalytic support provider. After that, the real players have to really take charge. And as I shared, that now going forward, we have to really embark on newer models of startup promotion, incubation. Pandemic has taught us, like while we were focusing on the physical incubation part, this cannot be the rules of the game going forward. We have to look for the virtual incubation as well. What could be the new model? It should be a hybrid model. It could be on the hub spoke spike model, a distributed model, that we are really holding a lot of discussions and deliberations throughout. And another thing which I wanted to really emphasize on and stress upon, we have to prepare our startups to be stronger, both mentally as well, psychologically also. So these were the some of the issues and the learnings which the pandemic has really taught us, and we really want to focus on further strengthening the innovation to market value chain, because as you say, the strength of a chain is defined by its weakest links. So what are those weakest links? We really need to figure out and focus more on that. And as I say, that to realize our new mission of being self-reliant, we need, and we would urge upon the new change agents, the students community, the talented youth, men and women, to really be join the bandwagon of being a problem solver, creative thinkers, innovators, entrepreneurs on one hand, and they need to be ably hand-holded by an army of mentors, enablers, doers, influencers, investors, incubators. So I think this is a big you can say task ahead for us. While our goal is clearly defined, how do you really attain the destination is only through the collaborative efforts and ironing out the key challenges which any startup would face, eventually face. But it is at the end of the journey. See, you cannot really feel the fun and excitement until as there are challenges before you. It should not be. I am of the opinion that although survival of the fittest is going to be the mantra, but one has to really navigate the challenges, and once you cross the challenges, then only, and you are a winner, that gives a real sense of the winning the game. So take charge of your game and be stronger enough to navigate both physically, mentally, economically, financially, intellectually, technically, everything rolled into. So startups have to be really sort of a magician in a way to take forward their innovations, their passion, and everything. So you are a jack of all. So my compliments to all those who are a part of this journey, who are helping out startups in any way. And I think I must assure you that like government is seriously thinking to create a new sector of startups, as DPIIT is doing through Startup India, Invest India kind of initiative. And going forward, I think there is going to be, when we celebrate 5 years of Startup India, many new initiatives which are actually sort of further strengthen the entire startup ecosystem. Will definitely be sort of see the light of the day. Those new programs, we within DST are already started having dialogues with multiple stakeholders, how to really make startups as the key pillars, the innovators startups, the key pillars of our socio-economic development of the country. I think most of the factors, despite challenges, despite uncertainty, are definitely falling in place. And I think slowly we are going to recover and bounce back in the post-COVID era. Let me also quote, if anyone has read about the Bill Gates, what he has talked about. If people are going to study one country right now, he recommends that go and look at India. Why so? And it is because the kind of digital innovations which has taken place in recent years has really exploded. And he is citing the example of the way financial inclusion has really hit upon as a great global model to be studied as a case study for across all nations. I think we must be proud of that, the way we have really showcased the world how the digitization can really hit upon and impact the lives of people. We have seen in pandemic how everything was being done online, and that is going to be the norm. And similarly, how healthcare we could really impact on, and now education, you talk of entertainment, everything is witnessing a paradigm shift from the pre-COVID era. And I think now the sky is the limit. We shouldn't be talking of no challenges anymore. I think pandemic has given us, so why should we talk of challenges? We shouldn't be even like considering challenges. They are going to be part and parcel of everyone's life, not only startups, everyone's life. So we have to really learn to live with the challenges and embark on the new year 2021 with great positivity, with great resolve, with great vigor, vitality, and vision. So thank you all. Just take charge and make difference and show how India should be look like as a new resurgent India. Thank you.